Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you're all doing well. This is a Roaming Prepper channel, and I'm your host, Pete, for those of you who do not know who I am. Just going to do a really quick video today regarding Election Day, which should be tomorrow. Today is the 7th of November, 2022, not 2023 yet, 2022, and tomorrow's Election Day. I want to talk about a few things that I've heard, just so you guys know what's going on. I'll be right back, and let's talk about them. Hey, welcome back, everybody, and thanks for joining me. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have questions, if I don't make my own premiere, which in theory I should, I want to at least be able to answer your questions. Stick them in the comments in the chat, in the section below the video, if you or I miss the premiere. And it has not been unusual for me to miss my own premieres, just the way things are. Anyway, so hope you're all doing well. Just want to go recap a few things that I was told after speaking to some folks about Election Day. So as you all recall, in 2020, that was a very contentious election. We had basically a potato versus a potty mouth. I wasn't super impressed with the whole kit and caboodle. There was rioting the whole damn year. There was fights, etc. That was a presidential election. This is a midterm election. So what do we expect to see? So what I know from folks I've spoken to, some who work for agencies still, some who are still in the service, and others who are corporate side and private sector. Right now, as far as we know, and even MSN and some of the news stations have also reflected this, there are no known specific threats to the United States or its people during this election day. Now, when I say that, what I mean is nobody has said, oh, we're going to go and do some horrendous shit to Ohio pollsters, or we're going to go and burn down, the voting booth in Texas or something like that. There's none of that. Now, there have been some reports that there are people who are open carrying near the poll sites. Now, according at least to Texas law, you cannot have a sign, you cannot vouch for a candidate, make speeches, anything within 250 feet of a polling area, or 200 feet. So essentially, and Bentley disagrees, essentially the way it works is if they're beyond that barrier and they just happen to be like a block away, with a political sign, there's really nothing they've done wrong as long as they're not actively hurting anyone. So I wouldn't panic with that. We're seeing a little bit on the left, a little bit on the right, but in reality, it is not really anything that's major, and so not a major problem. Okay, so aside from the geopolitical or the political factions that may or may not be open carrying in the vicinity of, now keep in mind, in pretty much every state, if you carry into a poll station, specifically open carry, that's a violation of the law, and you will likely wind up getting a ticket or being arrested. And that's appropriate because that goes for everybody. It doesn't matter who you're affiliated with. So from that front, no. Nobody has known of any specific threats from Al-Qaeda or Taliban or any other terrorist organization, other than they generally don't like us. And if they did blow up a polling place, they're not telling us they're going to do it. They're just like, to all of you, and you suck, and that's pretty much what they tell us every day. So nothing there. Now there is some concern. Some folks were saying the National Guard was reported that they were going to be deployed. So I did some digging on that, and it seems like cybersecurity teams will be deployed. For instance, the Texas National Guard, Texas Air National Guard has the 272nd EIS, which is a Electronic and Information Services Warfare Unit. They might wind up somewhere. local cybersecurity, basically watching for hacks, making sure power grids aren't being messed with. But that would be in conjunction with what everyone else is doing. Because it's not being nationalized, like the president's not calling up the National Guard, it's at the state level. The National Guard is still responding to the respective governors. No specific threats. There is some reports they might be out for traffic control, maybe some security, but nothing really significant, at least not that we know of today. Now, tomorrow we could have the damn apocalypse, as we all know, not that I know of. So the National Guard thing, not a big deal. There actually, it would be a great opportunity for the electronic warfare guys and the cybersecurity teams in the National Guard to get some actual hands-on practice. Folks who are working at the various agencies that I do know have said right now it's just usual. There've been an unusual amount of hacking attempts coming from Russia and from Europe. Not a big surprise because they're pissed at us. So again, nothing we don't already know. Now, honestly, everyone's worried more about the days after the election. There was a report that some states and polling places have said, hey, it may take us a couple of days to tally everything so we get it right. Right now, I know that the Democratic side has got their pollsters in place. The Republican National Committee, the RNC, has trained over 30,000 pollsters to also participate. All the states have agreed to let the participants in to observe. So it looks like both sides are basically got their people trained and out in the field doing what they're supposed to do. There were a couple of arrests. One person voted in multiple states. Someone else was falsifying or screwing with ballots. Both of those people have been arrested. So there's going to be a little bit of the stupidity. But right now, knock on wood, we should be rolling into a relatively stable election day. Now, what happens thereafter is a whole different story. A lot of people are expecting it to go very much one way or very much the other. But no matter which way it goes, someone's going to get pissed off. And those are the things you have to watch for. So again, like I preached before, situational awareness. Watch your surroundings. If you go to a polling place and people are in line, bored, drinking their coffee, don't sweat it, but pay attention to what's around you. If you see something hinky, react accordingly. There should be law enforcement at most polling places or in the areas. If that needs to be involved, great. If somebody gets sick, call an ambulance or a fire response and have them go over and assist. In general, it shouldn't be an issue. Now, the bigger question after the election, like I said, somebody's going to get pissed off, regardless of where you want to stand. There will be legal challenges. This has happened before. Again, nothing to freak out about. So all the fear and concern about the Ukraine aside, all the fear and concern of Taiwan aside, just looking at Election Day, that little slice of reality for those of us here in the US of A, it should be relatively low-key, other than you got to stand in line and wait forever if you didn't early vote. Here in Texas, I early voted, and I like the way they do it here in Texas because we have the machine. It's electronic, but it prints a paper ballot with a barcode and what my voting selection was. I approve it. Visually, I look at it. If it's correct, if it's incorrect, they actually do a correction and change it, and you have to do it again. But mine was correct. I go to another machine where it sucks up the paper ballot and tallies it, Republican, Democrat, whoever I voted for. But then it leaves a paper copy in the trough of that machine. So when they download all the machines and tally the votes, if there's a question, they physically have the ballots with our name on it and our driver's license attached to the ballot, which I think is really cool. Every freaking state should be doing this. This is partly because about 6-7 years ago, Texas's machines all ate shit at once, and it was a big old mess. And it was during a midterm, so it wasn't like a major election. Pissed a lot of people off, so they totally revamped it, and I actually like it. At least I can physically hold my ballot, look at it, and then put it in the other machine. I can't see what the tally is, right? It's secret. but I watch my ballot go into the machine and go bloop into the bin below. So I know there's a physical paper copy of my ballot that went through that machine. So I'm okay with that. That's about the best you can do, right? So in any case, folks, should be low key. So you guys be safe, be blessed. Don't forget to go out and vote. Even if you don't think in the big picture may affect the federal election, you absolutely will affect the regional, the state, the county level, and those are the ones that set a lot of the voting laws and the voting zones, and it's not to be overlooked or taken lightly. In any case, guys, be safe, take care, and I might do a live stream of the voting results tomorrow night, depending on my work schedule. Till next time, God bless. Take care.